He has expertise in the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary research, particularly with gender studies and cultural studies. He is also keen about adopting novel methods to answer research questions effectively. His current areas of research interest includes applied positive psychology, positive organizational behavior, behavioral finance, time affluence, mindfulness-based positive psychology interventions, leisure studies, and meaningful conception. Dr. Allen has also worked extensively on systematic reviews and published several systematic review papers. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation and keen interest to join this session. Now, I would like to call upon Arun Patamath, CEO of Wings, to welcome the gathering.
Good afternoon, all. Okay, my duty here to welcome you all. Okay, I'm today very lucky to have Dr. Alam sir here. He is one of the inspirations who inspired me to start this Wings, and I like to welcome you, sir, to present a workshop in this Wings. Thank you, sir, from your busy schedule. You accept our invitations and come and present, help us to share these posters and make this workshop very successful. And I also like to welcome all those participants who just shows an interest in this mindfulness workshop. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha and Arun. Actually, why should we be so formal? Actually, hate it, to be frank. People are gathered here to learn, not to learn about me, but to learn about what we intend to learn. So that is okay. Thankfully, Aisha was not too elaborate. She finished so quickly. So, okay, fine. So let's start. Before that, should we wait for somebody else? Because there are only 21 participants, but I think the total number of participants who have joined have registered
Now the participants is 30 now.
30. But why
Yeah.
only 23 people have joined?
Yes, we have remind them also. I think just if possible, we can wait for 3-5 and we can start the section by 3-5. Three more
Okay,
minutes.
might be better. Not 5 minutes, maybe till uh, 1:05. For three
Okay,
more,
okay.
maybe we shall wait.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Anyway, I have put one small poll in the group to see how many individuals are actually active. And sadly, I could find only very few people have responded. So if you think it is just another boring webinar, then please feel free to leave. In case, only if you are interested in learning something, you can stay. Otherwise, there is no compulsion. We have never compelled you. If you have that internal motivation, then you definitely will find something. Otherwise, no. So, and please turn on your videos. It should be something more interactive. Nothing that I say something and you listen from somewhere, somehow. No. Please turn on your videos, all of you. Very good. Very good. Now, at least. And after a few seconds, don't turn off and go in the pretense that low bandwidth. No. Still, many people are yet to join, yet to actually join. Turn on your video, even if you even if you keep your microphone unmuted, that is fine with me. You can always talk to me, just like a regular class, a regular interaction. If there is something to say immediately, definitely any of you can tell me. Okay, it is 1:05. I think let's begin. People are joining, that is fine. They can follow it. So let me share the PPT first. Tell me if it is visible. I cannot see you. once I start the presentation. So please let me know. Please be vocal. Please let me know if it is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's visible.
Sorry.
Yes, it's
Visible.
visible.
Yeah. Thank you. So you all are familiar with the concept of mindfulness, so I'm not dwelling much into that. So let's begin straight. Just for a few moments before we start, observe your thoughts. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes, sit comfortably, and observe whatever is coming to your mind. All the thoughts. Then try to name it. What is it about? There may be distractions coming, that is fine. Just observe everything that is going through your mind and observe what is it about. There may be memories, there may be questions, there may be plans, there may be images, there may be ideas, whatever it may be. Observe your thoughts. Now describe it. I will share the link. You can follow this link and share it with me. Please follow the link. Try to convey the meaning in one word or maybe a couple of words. What are these thoughts about? Are you able to do it? Is it working? Are you able to do it? Miss Shirley is saying something. Yes, thoughts are coming. Okay. Don't worry, I will not see your name. Who is writing what? So freely you can write. Yes. Okay. Little faster, quick. You can write up to 3 words, three different categories of thoughts. Finished? Okay. Let me show you what people have shared. Is it visible? Can you see?
Yes, now it's visible.
Yes. Many people have thought about food. I think I thought this time is not the time for thinking too much about food, but uh, clearly I'm wrong. Many people have thought about food and memories, unnamed memories, future, anxiety, comfort, animal sounds, thoughts about future again, life in general, that is kind of big, black shades, interesting, happiness, traveling, stress, love, plan, regret, recent works, inconvenience, silence, progressive life, and yes, some plans and ideas as well. Very well. Quickly, we can see one thing that mostly more than 90% of what you have seen are related to either what has already happened or things that hasn't happened yet. That is quite natural. It is most common for humans. We either dwell in the past, thinking about something that has already happened where we have no control, or think about something that is yet to happen and will become anxious. Many people have reported anxiety. Some plans as well. Somebody said something. Okay. If you are not talking, maybe you can mute yourself. So there comes the significance of mindfulness because only at present you can do something about future. Even if it is planning, you will have to be right here at present to do something for what is about to happen. So let's quickly see how mindfulness reduces distress. I am not planning to elaborate on any theories or any conceptual clarity because I have seen it clearly that you people have very good background regarding the concept of mindfulness, as you people have reported to me. And also, this is a workshop I want to share with you how to learn, how to practice mindfulness rather than the concept of mindfulness that you can easily find from any books or from internet also. But practice is more important. So I want to help you learn the practice of mindfulness so that you can experience the benefits. So you can clearly see that mindfulness has a direct relationship with reduction in distress if you are focusing on present. For example, now itself, if you are focusing on where you are sitting here, you are attending a webinar, I am talking to you, you are listening to me, your surrounding, your current physical experiences, your sensory experiences, if you are simply focusing on that, in case the present is not distressing, you will find it kind of pleasant. Yes, I am sitting here. Yes, I am listening. So far, so good. It is okay. I'm fine. I'm comfortable. But the problem comes when the present is not calming. If the present is distressing, then what will happen? If the present is not distressing, that is fine. If you simply focus on the present, you will feel relaxed. That is okay. But what will happen if the present itself is distressing? Then also, if you are mindful, you will have a clear mind. Your thoughts will be clear. You'll be able to think logically. Then you will see the problem. You will identify the problem. The first stage of problem resolution is problem identification, right? So if you can think clearly, you will identify the problem. What is the obstacle in front of you that curtail you from achieving happiness and well-being? There are certain things happening. There are certain things happened. There are certain things going on that disturbs you. If you can identify the problem clearly, if you can think calmly, then definitely we'll be able to make a better decision regarding the problem resolution. Then finally, again, you will come back to relaxation. So in both ways, even if you are going through some troublesome situations, maybe you are grieving for personal loss, maybe you are struggling with a trauma, maybe you are trying to balance work, balance life, and many other things simultaneously. In case you are practicing mindfulness, you will see the impact of the same in your life, regardless of your current situations. Mindfulness is not something entirely new or novel, something uh, uh, that you have no idea about. We all are mindful at least to some extent, at least some point of time. The thing is that if you are practicing it formally, and if you are practicing informally for a long period of time, then these collective experiences will contribute to your more prolonged happiness, well-being, and reduce distress. That is why we need to practice. Any questions so far? If you have something to say, you can tell me now. Otherwise, let's see for a few moments. Let's practice mindful breathing. Any questions? Anything to say? If no, also you can say no.
Yes, we can start the next section.
No.
Fine. Okay. Thank you. It should be like that immediately when we say something. So that response will come. All right. So anybody here has some experience with mindful breathing, aspect of mindfulness, or any other practice? Have you learned the practice of mindful breathing?
No.
No,
Only one
sir.
person is responding. Bad.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. I guess that is a big no from all of you. So then I will begin with the very basics, and we will go very slowly as well. Please try to uh, practice it rather than observing it. You can observe it later. You can learn administration, or you can learn how to share it with somebody else. That comes later. But please try to do it on yourself first. Learn it first. Unless and until you learn, you'll not be able to share it with somebody else. So please make yourself comfortable, sit somewhere comfortably without any distractions if possible. Maybe you can keep your hands on your thighs or somewhere in relaxed manner. Gently close your eyes and observe your breathing. There may be other thoughts coming, that is fine. Keep observe how you are breathing. No need to control your breathing in any way. Just observe how it is happening. You might observe some intruding thoughts coming. Just acknowledge that you are having some other thoughts. Then again, come back to your breathing. Observe the temperature of the air that goes through your nostrils. Is it the same air when it comes out when you exhale? Observe the pattern, the rhythm of your breathing. You might be listening to some other distracting noises. If you're having some kind of distractions, just be aware and acknowledge that there are other distractions coming. Then again, gently come back to your breathing. Keep observing the pattern, the rhythm, how your body is responding to your breathing. While you observe, while you focus on your breathing, maybe you experience some kind of physical responses. You can observe those responses as well. Maybe there might be palpitation. Maybe you feel more relaxed. Just observe what is happening. Observe whether breathing is shallow or deep. Observe the movements of your chest or your stomach. Observe if you're having any other physical sensations. But again, refocus on your breathing. Keep observing your breath. Observe any other thoughts coming. Maybe you are feeling dizzy. Observe and acknowledge that you are feeling dizzy, you are feeling sleepy, you are feeling bored, or if you are feeling anxious. Just observe your thoughts and emotions. Then again, come back to your breathing. Gradually open your eyes. Then please turn on your videos. Please turn on your videos. Gradually open your eyes and turn on your videos. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Then why no
Yes.
response? It is too bad. This is the first time I am experiencing this kind of response. No response. Too much response I have uh, observed with and okay, some messages here. I may not be able to see the messages, so please talk. Please talk. Is it too difficult to talk? No, right? You all can speak. Speaking is good, guys. So please do speak. Uh, now I want all of you to share your experience, maybe in one or two sentences, something that you have observed, something unnatural, if there was something unnatural, or your current experience, what you have experienced, what you have noticed, quickly, all of you.
Uh, when I inhaled the air, it was cold, and exhale, it was a bit hot. And a short while, I felt so relaxed to my mind, body. My stomach was just like as my heart beats, like I felt. But later, I became relaxed again, and I felt
Very,
more comfortable.
very well,
Thank you, sir.
very well. What
In
about
the
others?
initial st- in the initial state, I feel very anxious. My heart was so palpitating, and I was so anxious. But gradually, I just feel some coolness around me. Then slowly, my breathe rate also get reduced, and gradually I get relaxed and calm. I just feel sleepy also.
Right. The thing is that our experiences will differ. Not just that, when time goes, the same person's experiences will change. If you're practicing mindful breathing after 2 hours, maybe you will feel something different. But some people initially, at least initially for the beginners, uh, at least 20-30% I have seen, uh, they will experience some sort of anxiety, or their body will become stiff and rigid, and uh, it will be kind of the pattern of breathing will also increase. There will be palpitation, kind of distress. Sometimes people will uh, uh, observe some kind of physical changes, like their ears or some body parts becoming more hot. Some people, some lucky people, feel very relaxed from the initial time onwards. So it depends on many things. There is nothing wrong with that. Let me hear from a few more people, because our further sessions depends on our interaction.
Yes, sir. In the initial stage, I feel some discomfort, and as time goes, I feel some relaxed. But the outside surroundings were disturbing me, and later I feel more comfortable, but a little sleep.
Yeah, people, if we continue it for maybe 15-20 minutes, many of us will sleep because the body will find it relaxing, so we will sleep. Yeah. So thank you. But I'm expecting more response from now onwards after the initial exercise. So this is not enough. Unless and until I know what you are experiencing, I will not be able to share anything further. Somebody has turned on her video. Maybe you want to talk, Nimi Jones?
Just wanted to say that it was initially difficult for me to concentrate on the breathing, even though you were saying to concentrate. But later on, okay, I was able to concentrate more and concentrate less on the distractors and more on the breathing. That's what I
That
felt.
is it. That is fantastic. Many a times, even after months, many people will struggle to focus on breathing. It may sound so simple and silly, but when you actually try to do that, mostly there will be thoughts. Why I am doing this? Why I am here? What is the benefit? There will be a lot of things coming and going, and there will be distractions, many sounds maybe from the surrounding coming. So it is better, at least in the initial stage, at least if you want to practice, continue practicing mindfulness, it is better to find a place where minimum distractions are present. Otherwise, initially it might be a bit difficult for you to handle. After a while, after several months or after a few years, maybe, regardless of the location, you will be able to practice, not just mindful breathing, any other thing. But initially, please be careful. That is why only
Sir,
few people will sustain. Yes.
okay. As everyone said, for me also, initially there was bit difficult for me to concentrate. Later on, I was able to concentrate on my breathing, and I also had lots of distractions around. I think that's why. Okay,
Yeah.
and I felt quite relaxed and at the same time a little sleepy.
Yes. So, Nikita, don't you think if the amount of distractions were less, you will be able to focus on it better?
Yeah, sure.
That is fine. So, at least for initial several times, at least for a few months, please try to find a spot where less distraction, especially auditory stimuli, a
Yes,
place
sure.
where very limited sounds are present. It's better to practice it there.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. Yes, of course, there are numerous benefits for mindfulness. You might have heard about mindfulness based interventions. MPIs are interventions where mindfulness is being incorporated with something else to produce specific outcomes. Many a times you can see mindfulness based interventions as standalone therapies or facilitating interventions. Standalone therapies are intervention that are used alone for some particular outcome, like the reduction of any clinical disorders. You can find many recent literature, also a lot of literature where numerous MPIs, thousands of different mindfulness-based interventions are being utilized for the clinical purpose. Uh, it is like a kind of revolution these days. From the first person who have incorporated mindfulness into clinical practice, Kabat-Zinn, we can see uh, each year the number of unique mindfulness-based interventions being developed and also tested in different contexts and different populations across different age groups, across all genders, across all socio-demographic uh, categories. You can see mindfulness is being utilized. Any questions?
So far, no questions, sir.
So there will be a Q&A session in the last there will be Q&A. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So at the end of the session, there will be Q&A.
Okay, of course it will be.
Yeah.
That is fine. But in between, if you want something to clarify, because we have
Yes,
limited attention span, you might forget. So in case you
yes,
want to
sir.
ask something, not elaborately, but if you want to clarify something quickly, then you can ask.
Yes, yes.
Let's move forward. Yes. Brain brushing, something that I commonly suggest to my students. There's not in different names, but what we do is important. Our neighboring country, Bhutan, instead of GDP following gross domestic product, they have gross national happiness index. So what they do is adoption of different strategies to improve happiness and well-being of its citizens. So the measurement of the growth of a country should be based on how happy the people are rather than how much people earn. So that is a matter of uh, these countries. So there we can commonly see brain brushing. Many a times in schools, classes start and ends with brain brushing. So this is something that we can do very quickly. We can learn very quickly, and it is highly effective, regardless of the situation. Basically, we will focus on our sensory experiences from our five major sensory modalities. How many sensory modalities do we have? I'm waiting for an answer.
Sir, fine.
Five.
Five.
Any, anybody else have difference of opinion? How many sensory modalities do we have? I'm repeating the question. I'm not asking about sensory organs. I'm asking about sensory modalities. How many do we have? At least some people might have went for browsing now. Any other response? Any changes in response? We have more than 20 different sensory modalities. 5 major sensations, but that is not just it. For example, proprioception, how the body is positioned, the body orientation, kinesthesia, body movement. We are sensing the body movement, but it is not touch, or it is not hearing, it is not listening, and or it cannot be categorized under any of the 5 major sensory modalities. You can sense temperature, thermoception. You can sense pain, nociception. The different varieties of sensations that comes out of our 5 major uh, sensory organs. We can consider any number of different sensory modalities for brain brushing, but usually we focus on the 5 major sensory modalities. But I would like to include 2 more. So 7 major sensory modalities we can focus. So again, sit comfortably. You don't need to close your eyes now. Particularly, I'm more interested in informal practice, so I will not be administering too much formal meditation practice, although it is uh, highly effective. We cannot substitute for formal meditation practices, but it is better to learn some informal practices also, so that all of us can practice mindfulness. Otherwise, we are not monks. We cannot always sit somewhere and uh, do certain things, follow up specific diet, and practice mindfulness or meditation always. We can do whatever we are usually doing, and at the same time meditate or practice mindfulness. So my brain brushing is one of them. Just look around yourself and count five different objects. Look at the texture, the nature, the shape, size, color, and any other features of these objects. Look at five objects. Maybe some thoughts will accompany. Like, how will it be if I touch it? Then listen to four different sounds around you. Listen to four sounds. Usually, if we tell the same to children, they usually make some noises and listen to it. Unfortunately, it is not common among, I haven't seen it with adults. But anyway, listen to four sounds. Touch three different objects, focusing on the sensation, whether it is smooth, soft, hard, polished. The temperature of the object. So touch three different objects. Now smell two objects. Any two things. You can even smell your own body parts. Maybe you have used some perfume. The smell of your body, or the smell of your clothes, anything, even your mobile phone. I don't know how many times you people have smelled your mobile phone. There is a smell. Anything volatile will be smellable. You can smell it. A water bottle, a book, a pen, anything you can smell. Then finally, taste one thing. You don't need to. It is not necessary to eat something. You can simply taste. If there is some water with you, you can take a sip and see. Just taste one thing. Also, think about how upright you are, where you are positioned compared to the floor, your body position, how you are positioned, the body posture. You can also clench your palm, focusing on the movement, which all muscles are moving, the sensation of movement. And that is it. So I will rewind. I will tell this once again faster. The last two things are additions, but major things are the initial five major sensitive modalities. Look around you and see five things, focusing on different aspects, different characteristics of the object, including size, shape, uh, color, how it might feel if you are touching, and any other features that interest you. And listen to four different sounds, touch three different things, smell two things, and taste one thing. Also, focus on your body position and posture as well as body movement. There are body movement therapies, right? Dance therapy and other body movement therapies. All these are therapeutic. Many things that we take for granted are actually therapeutic. Any questions? Any thoughts?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Let's move ahead. Mindfulness can be used not just for reduction of clinical disorders, not just reduction of distress, anxiety, or particularly for any specific disorders, but since the beginning, because mindfulness has sets beginning from Buddhism, right? Actually emerged from in India. Although we can see the practice of mindfulness, element of mindfulness, and different religious practices, particularly as a specific practice, mindfulness is emerged from Buddhism. So it has its roots in India. Since then, the monks or practitioners have identified the positive potentials of mindfulness. But the world came to know about the benefits of mindfulness after Kabat-Zinn has incorporated mindfulness into clinical practice and applied it as a scientific tool. But unfortunately, now we can see almost all or most of the major mindfulness based interventions are clinical based. It will reduce, or it will help to manage the clinical symptoms. It will, but it will not go beyond that. So in order to compensate that, many people later recently combined mindfulness with positive psychology, and mindfulness based positive psychology interventions were emerged. A few years back, I have conducted was systematic review to identify how many mindfulness-based positive psychology interventions are actually there and how they are utilizing mindfulness as a uh, tool to enhance positive human functioning. So I can share the study link also, so that you can check it. Quickly, I will tell you the gist of the findings. It was found that there are 8 categorization we can make out of current mindfulness-based positive psychology interventions. There are, of course, psychotherapies like mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, mindfulness-based cognitive behavior therapy, mindfulness-oriented recovery enhancement. So there are different psychotherapies where mindfulness is being used, and we can observe some positive outcomes like enhancement of hope, resilience, psychological flexibility, happiness, different aspects of well-being, life satisfaction. So, and different forms, these psychotherapies where mindfulness were incorporated are also found to be in enhancing many positive psychological outcomes. And there are mindfulness-based interventions exclusively for children, where the administration is entirely different, because we need some kind of metacognitive ability that is not suitable for different specific contexts. But there are some people who have expertise in administering mindfulness to children. Years back, and different foreign countries, especially in United Kingdom, UK, commonly mindfulness was included in curriculum and the school syllabi. Recently, we have seen in Delhi also they have incorporated mindfulness in their school syllabus, and uh, I've heard that there are some positive outcomes observed even within a small span of time. Then there are mindfulness apps. Sometimes we can even see these mindfulness apps being used as therapies, standalone therapies. We can see some empirical literature regarding the same. Particularly, there are two major mindfulness-based apps, Calm and Headspace. If you want, I can, in case somebody are not familiar with it, I think most of us are familiar with it. Calm and Headspace. In case somebody want to know, I will share it. These are to some extent subscription-based applications, but to some extent we can use the free version also. So Calm and Headspace. Then there are mindfulness-based intervention used to enhance positive relationships. There are many uh, intervention that mm, exclusively focus on enhancing better relationships. There are an entire category of mindful self-compassion interventions, loving kindness meditation, that is a part of mindfulness-based intervention. And then there are some mindfulness-based intervention that may act as MPS. You can see all these in detail in this systematic review. Then finally, there are typical mindfulness-based positive psychology intervention where the authors they developed these mindfulness-based intervention for the intention of enhancing some specific positive psychology variable. So these are some of the positive potentials apart from the potentials of enhancing or eliminating different psychological conditions. Any questions or any doubts?
No, sir.
It's
Okay.
clear.
I wonder why, because usually there will be a lot of questions. Either you know everything, otherwise you don't know anything. I'm not sure which. If we are an empty cup, we can pour something into it and you will get filled. If you already are full, then no need to waste my time or your time simply sitting here. I'm sorry to say, I'm totally disappointed. If this is continuing like this, maybe you will have to discontinue from, and there won't be any session tomorrow. So I want you to people to be active, interactive. Otherwise, there is no meaning in sparing both of our time. I asked you people to turn on your video, but nobody is doing the same also. So I'm not sure what is going wrong. If you communicate, if you tell me, then we can move forward accordingly. Otherwise, better to discontinue. You can decide and let me know.
It's clear, sir.
Sorry,
It's clear.
what about others?
Yes, sir. We can.
Anyway, okay, we'll continue. This is kind of complicated. Usually, I will introduce time meditation after some time, but I thought we all are adults and all of you have some conceptual clarity. Most people have reported that they have very good understanding of the concept. So believing that, I'm introducing time meditation today. It is simply focusing on time. And I'm not telling what will happen. You can observe it. And all of you, there is no excuse. All of you have to let me know your experience so that we can ponder on it. Okay, give me a second. I will stop sharing and share another window. Very good. Some people have turned on their videos. Good. Can you see it? A stopwatch, can you see?
Stop.
Yes.
Okay, okay. You can see the stopwatch, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. So I will start it. You can simply observe the passing time. How fast it is moving, see. And the thing is that you will never get it back. Each moment passing, and we are getting older, we are approaching death. This is the time passing. There is no turning back. So focus
Sir, I am
on.
not seeing the stopwatch.
So what we actually see is your slide on that exercise, not a stopwatch. The
Okay.
Okay, I will stop it and share it once again. But a few people said they can see.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
No.
No.
Wait
Now
for
we
it.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
now we can.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. So now you can focus on the time,
Yeah.
the moving time.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Let's keep observing the passing time. If other thoughts are coming, if there are other distractions coming, you can just acknowledge that other distractions are coming, but refocus on observing the passing time. There might be some other thoughts coming. You can observe the thoughts. There may be some emotions coming. You can name and acknowledge your emotions. Continue to focus on passing time. The time that will never come back. The most precious thing in the world. And you are sitting here observing it simply. What do you feel? To keep observing your thoughts and emotions. and keep thinking about passing time. If other thoughts are coming, that is fine. Again, focus on the passing time. All right. Now tell me now about your experiences, what you felt. Usually, what we do with any mindfulness sessions is that we will practice. For example, we usually begin with mindful breathing, and we will discuss. Each person will share his or her experience, and all of the participants will share their experience, and we will discuss on it. And that is how we will learn that there are different kinds of experience. And at some point of time, I also feel the same. That is how we learn with each meditative practices. So similarly, that is why when that major part is not happening, I got frustrated. You understand?
Yes, sir.
You can see, well, usually in a group of 6 or 8 or 12, there'll be people in circular or semicircular shape sitting and discussing. That discussion part is more important. Then you will have more insights why this is happening or what can I do about it. Otherwise, there is no use at all. So tell me, all of you, one by one, you can volunteer to talk, no problem. What have you observed? What was your experience?
Initially, I was focusing on the time just moving on. Where gradually, I feel the sound of the tick, tick, tick sound. Then I only hear the tick, ticks and sound, and I just went through that rhythm of tick, tick, tick. I went through it. I
That
just focus
kind
on
of,
from checking the time. I just focused on the tick, tick sound.
oh, so that was kind of an auditory hallucination.
Actually, there is no sound, or I just
No,
hallucinate. Oh,
yes. Very
okay.
interesting, Arun. Anybody else have heard something along with seeing?
Hi, sir. Actually, I didn't hear
Yes.
anything. Uh, at first, I just feel time is running and nothing else. And as you are saying about the time is running, you are sitting still. At that time, I feel some distrust. Okay, uh, and that feeling, sir. Nothing more.
I should have elaborated on that little more.
And I also thinking that I'm I'm feeling the same as others, or I'm thinking differently.
Does it matter?
No.
We all are unique. We all are entitled to have our different
Yes.
experiences. You did not hear anything. That is good, at least.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Myself, first, I was feeling nothing. Just I was looking at the time goes on. Sudden, after a short while, I recognized that how fast the time passes. And I felt, I think I felt really sad that I did not use to my time properly. That was
Mhm.
a short while I went my thoughts with that. Then again, I came back and I concentrated on. And again, I thought by profession I'm a teacher, and last 4 years I'm not working due to my ill health. So I thought that I could have been good teacher. So again, that time's value was reminding my brain and my body. It made my too warm and thinking. Again, I concentrate on time and something like I don't know. Decided something like I felt so precious. The time was so precious. It was reminding me like that. That was my feeling.
That is a beautiful description. So clear also. I'm sure many others, many of us might have experienced something the same or similar, like kind
So
of distress or anxiety, observing
yeah.
that, and some regrets maybe. Yes, Nikita.
Yes, sir. I also noticed I was focused on the passing time, and within that 3 minutes, I gone through many random thoughts, not any specific one. But later, when you told like this time that is will never stop for anything, so I was like I was thinking that it's been 1 hour since we started this webinar, and literally, I didn't notice that 60 minutes have passed like this so fast. So, and at that time also, I just gone through my fast for few seconds. Like, I have wasted many time in my life. So, yeah, such random thoughts may grow that.
Somebody has once said, "There's no time as time wasted. Either you learn or you will have some memories. Both ways it is good. You are never wasting any time. It will all contribute to what you are right now. So never regret. You have
Yes, sir.
done what you at that time thought the best for you. That was you. You are evolving day by day, each moment by moment. We all are evolving. You have done something, and at that time, that was the best for you. You cannot regret. You can never regret.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody else would like to share experience? Don't worry about what others might think or how well I can articulate. Some people will be more comfortable in writing, some will be more comfortable in orally expressing, but it doesn't matter. None of us here are going to judge you. We all are unique in our own ways. We none of us here have any dominance or any hierarchy or any importance. All of us are completely, entirely equal. So don't worry about anything. Shed all your inhibitions, and you can freely talk.
Yes, sir.
That is the that is on the basis of mindfulness. It has two parts. The definition of mindfulness: non-judgmental awareness of the present. The present we all know. We try to practice to be at the present, but the most important part is not being non-judgmental, being completely non-judgmental. We can understand, but don't judge. So, if anybody else would like to speak, I am ready to hear. Then we will move forward.
Okay, even though you said not to regret the time wasted, what I was also thinking was the same line as Nikita said. When I was focusing on the time, I realized, okay, how quickly it's moving and how much I have taken it for granted. So that's what my thought was.
How much we have taken for granted, that is a very good point. At least once we realize it, we can do something about it, right? Since you have realized it, since you have acknowledged it, definitely you can do something about it. So from now onwards, we can think about what we can do, not to compensate, but to use the maximum out of the rest of our life. Most precious time we have, how and what we will do with it. We will see some of the further benefits. Is it visible? No, right? I will share it
No.
once again. Yes. Usually, many people, especially if it is happening just before an exam or something, some other event, many people will feel anxious, and that is the intention of it. You will become very anxious, very distressed, and finally you will calm down. You will realize you will learn to accept that this is fine. That is the intention of time meditation. Now let's see how mindfulness contribute to well-being. Well-being are mainly of two kinds, right? There is hedonic well-being and eudaimonic well-being. So how mindfulness contributes to hedonic well-being? Let's see. What is hedonia? Can somebody tell me what hedonia is? Anyway, it is written here, but can somebody tell me in your own words? Are you familiar
Uh,
with it?
No.
it is
Yeah,
related to
don't related
pleasure.
with happiness.
Yes,
It's a term related with happiness. It's one
right.
of the theory
Sometimes
of
you will say, yes. Sometimes we will say hedonic happiness, right? Sometimes hedonic well-being as well. So, yes, it is. Uh, yes. Okay. So hedonia is generally our tendency to avoid all kinds of pain, but we need pleasure, all kinds of pleasures. It's a natural, common, very common human tendency. Most people, we all have both hedonia and eudaimonia, but according to some studies, most people have a dominant hedonic tendency. The problem with hedonia is that we can get adapted to hedonic sensations. I will explain it a little more because it is highly important. Have you heard about the term hedonic treadmill? It is related to hedonic adaptation. Have you heard about the term hedonic treadmill?
No, sir.
No.
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 Okay, it is like we are on a treadmill. How many of you have used a treadmill? Or at least how many of you have seen a treadmill?
yes.
Yes, sir. See.
Okay, okay, okay. So in a treadmill, we will be moving, but we will not be going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, in this picture also you can see, yes, happiness is there. I have a call. I have to reach there. And the person will be moving faster, faster, and faster, but he will never reach there because it is a treadmill. It will not let the person reach there. The reason is hedonic adaptation. I will give you an example so it will get clearer. Uh, Suppose it is it also hedonic indulgence. Our use of hedonia will result in addiction also. It is the same reason. The hedonic adaptation, hedonic treadmill is the reason. I will finally explain it with offline process theory as well. So the thing is that suppose doing something give you pleasure or happiness or well-being, whatever. Plainly, you will obtain some kind of hedonic pleasure or hedonic happiness or hedonic well-being, hedonia. One most common thing is consumption of alcohol or consumption of certain drugs or even indulging in specific things that will give you pleasure, like video games or pornography or any other things. Not we need not necessarily something bad, something quite natural and human. The first day, a person drank a peg of alcohol and he found very happy. It was very pleasurable. The next day, if he drinks the same amount of alcohol, he will not gain the same amount of the equal amount of pleasure as if he is on a treadmill. If it is an objective, if he is out of hedonic treadmill, if it is out of treadmill, he will be walking and reaching, and finally touching the goal. But here, the next day, he is consuming again. He will not achieve the same amount of pleasure, little bit lower. So, in order to compensate that, he will drink a little more the second day. And the third day, again, a little more, a little more. So the stimulus required to elicit hedonic pleasure will keep on increasing. It will keep on increasing. Suppose you found uh, a beautiful car. You liked a beautiful car, and you desperately wanted. It's really beautiful. All the features are excellent, and I want to have it. And suppose you have sufficient money also to get that car. And when you went to buy the car, they said it will take 1 month time to wait if you need this particular color. And you waited for 1 whole month, paid the whole amount, and happily got the car back home. And you are very happy. That is hedonia. That is happiness. You are very happy. You got the car. You waited so far and you got the car. My question is, will you be happy in the same way the second day? Will you be?
No, sir. It reduces.
Again, third day, the fourth day, gradually
Yes.
it will decrease. And after a while, the decline will not be gradual, it will be steep. After a while, a few months, you will not even think about the pleasures of driving that car. You will simply drive it, but you will not think about it. You will no longer be mindful of the pleasures the car can give you. This is hedonic treadmill. The amount should keep on increasing, and it is humanly impossible. We cannot always keep on increasing. You cannot have all the wealth in the whole universe, because our needs are like that. If you get 10, then you will need 100. When you get 100, you will want 1,000. When you get 1,000, you will want 10,000. Like that, it will keep on increasing. So that is one problem with hedonia. Although mindfulness can improve your hedonia, your pleasures, that is what we have seen. When you touch certain things, when you touch any object smoothly, it will give you a sensation, kind of a pleasure, a small amount, but still pleasure. You can elicit pleasure in different ways. You can consume alcohol to get pleasure, but it will not sustain. You'll have to keep on increasing it. And another most important thing is that we can explain the same with opponent process theory. How many of you are familiar with opponent process theory? It can be applied in different contexts. Okay, anyway, uh, initially there will be a state A. Here the state A is pleasure. If there is a state A, then there will be an opposite state B. The thing is that state B will be larger than state A. So if state A is this much, state B will be this much. State A is happiness. You have this much happiness out of alcohol consumption, or getting a new car, or getting a new laptop, or getting a new job. That happiness is this. There will be state B following this, that will be bigger than this. This is the opposite of this, a state of unpleasant sensation, a state of unhappiness, dissatisfaction, disappointment, negative emotions. So in order to compensate this, the stimulus required to elicit the happiness will need to be increased. People will consume more alcohol. People will buy a lot of things. People will try to move from one job to another. Always this will keep on moving. Of course, it can also lead to addictions, addictive behaviors, all kinds of addictions, hedonic dysregulation. So you have the tendency to seek pleasure and avoiding pain, but once it is imbalanced, it will become a dysregulation. Dysregulation. That is the base of all kinds of addictions. So I am concluding it like this. Of course, mindfulness can enhance your hedonia, but hedonia has its limitations as well. So please be careful when mindfulness is being utilized for hedonic enhancement alone. All kinds of therapies has hedonic enhancement qualities. All psychotherapies intend to reduce some kind of psychological or physical pain and enhance our well-being, right?
Yeah.
That means all psychotherapies, yeah, all psychotherapies intend to enhance your hedonia. Mindfulness can also be utilized to enhance your hedonia, but we are not just stopping there. We will continue. Before that, let us see another mindfulness practice.
So I
Mindful
have a
walks.
question regarding the hedonic activity. Uh,
Yes,
Usually when we see in the couple therapies and all, most of the partners used to say that they have a love marriage and all. After marriage, they don't feel the same feeling during the relationships, and they tend to reduce that intensity gradually. Okay, this is same as when you said that hedonic activity like decreases during the time. How can we sustain and how can we incorporate mindfulness to maintain their relationship? Is there any way?
of course.
They maybe find some other partners more attractive, or that she is much more better than her. Maybe vice versa.
Correct.
How can we, this could be incorporated in?
There is one way. There is one way. There is one way to compensate hedonia, that is eudaimonia. That is the other part of well-being. Collectively, both hedonia and eudaimonia contribute to our overall general well-being and especially flourishing. So if you want flourishing, hedonia is mandatory, but that is not sufficient. It is necessary, but insufficient. You should have eudaimonia as well. We will see that uh, after a brief mindful walk meditation. We will see how
Okay,
mindfulness contribute to eudaimonia and how we can practice that.
okay,
All
sir.
right,
Okay, sir.
very well. So mindful walk is one of the common mindfulness practices that we can easily learn and adopt. Anyway, daily we all are walking. Most people are walking daily, unless you have some problems with walking. Regularly, all humans are walking. So if you are utilizing that time to practice mindfulness, you will learn mindfulness, and also any separate time is not needed for that. Similarly, you can practice mindful eating, or once you begin to practice, anything that you do can be done mindfully. You can drive mindfully, you can eat mindfully, you can converse mindfully, you can take a shower mindfully, you can take a walk mindfully, everything. So this is one of such things that you can do. Let me tell you one more thing. Once a Zen monk wanted to learn mindfulness, and he went to see many gurus, many prominent people to teach him mindfulness. He learned it from different people, but still he was not satisfied. And finally, he found one very prominent, very popular mindfulness meditation practitioner, Buddhist monk. And this young person went to this older guru and requested him to teach him mindfulness. At that time, this monk was washing dishes. He was doing dishes, washing the plates. He continued to do what he was doing while listening. The young man again pleaded, Master, please teach me mindfulness. Silently, he handed over a few plates to the young man and then asked him to wash it. He began to wash. Once he finished, then again he said, Master, please teach me mindfulness. Then again, 10 more plates were given, and again he asked him to wash it. So it continued for a while. Then finally, Eureka! In a single moment, the young monk understood that he is already teaching and I am already learning. How many of you got it? How many of you understood? And you got the point?
Yes.
Whatever we do, if you do it mindfully, let it be doing the dishes, let it be reading, let it be learning, let it be attending a workshop, let it be uh, eating or sleeping or whatever it may be. Do it mindfully, and that is enough. Of course, there should be formal practices, but mainly at this period of time, especially, we need to learn to incorporate mindfulness in our daily, mundane daily life activities. So now I want to see you people. So please turn on your videos. We are going to learn mindful walk. Please make sure that there is at least 3 feet space in front of you. Get ready. Come on, get up, kick. You'll be closing your eyes, so make sure that there are no other objects nearby, so that you can walk comfortably. Stand up. Please stand up and stand somewhere comfortably, just like Shirley ma'am is doing. All of you. Why can't I see anybody else's video? Arun, others, please turn on your video and uh, position yourself in a place where you can comfortably walk. Just stand.
My video is turned on. I'm using from another device.
Okay. Let me know once you are ready. Are you people ready?
Yes.
Give me a thumbs up or say yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So I suppose you all are standing now. Just be comfortable and close your eyes. Close your eyes and observe how the body is feeling. You are standing upright on your 2 legs. Feel the body weight. Feel how the body is balancing. You might be feeling some kind of imbalance since you have closed your eyes. That is fine. You can observe it. But anyway, you will not fall. Don't worry. Gradually, take your right foot slowly forward. Do not touch the floor. Simply keep it in the air. Observe how the legs are moved. The leg is moving, where it is stretching, how the knee is bending, which all muscles are working, how the body is balancing in just one leg. Observe that the entire body weight is held by only one leg. Gradually, very slowly, Touch your toes first in front of you on the floor. Feel the touch of the floor under your skin. Slowly, very slowly, put the whole foot in front of you on the floor. Place it firmly. Focus on all the sensation that you are getting out of your foot. Gradually, take your other feet from backside and move it to the front. Focus on the movement. Focus on how the body is balancing. Gradually, touch your left toes in front of you, taking time very slowly. Put the whole feet firmly on the ground. Now observe how both your foot are feeling, the body balance. Keep your eyes closed. Again, take your right feet forward. Touch it slowly on the floor. Feel the temperature and other qualities of the floor in front of you. The floor beneath both your feet, whether it is hard or soft, the texture of the floor, the temperature of the floor, how the body is balancing the entire body weight. Similarly, gradually take a few more steps, taking your time very slowly. Observe the body movements, how the muscles are moving, how the joints are working, and also the sensory experiences from the floor. Take a few steps slowly. Once it is done, you can open your eyes and take your seat. Okay, now let me know, how did you feel? Share your experiences quickly.
I feel very happy. I like to smile. I like to. I don't know. Very happy. I don't know.
You are having very peculiar experiences, Arun. Last time it was auditory hallucination. This time it was unnecessary goodness coming out of nowhere.
Great.
What about others? What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, it was a nice experience as we are doing this usually as walking, but today itself I feel that called means um sorry, I'm not fluent in English. That why
You are good in English. Who told you are not fluent? You are talking very well, and again, no.
I'm trying to express the meaning. Okay,
Which language you are comfortable with?
Malayalam.
Tell me in Malayalam. Talk in Malayalam.
ഓക്കെ സർ താങ്ക് യു സർ നമ്മൾ സാധാരണയായിട്ട് എല്ലാ ദിവസവും ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് ഈ നടക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ എന്നിരുന്നാലും ഇന്നാണ് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ നമ്മൾ ഒരു തണുപ്പ് തട്ടുന്ന ആ ഒരു ഫീലൊക്കെ കറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടൊന്ന് അറിഞ്ഞത് ഇന്നാണെന്ന് തോന്നി. അതേപോലെ നമ്മളുടെ ബോഡിക്ക് ഇത്ര വെയിറ്റ് ഉണ്ടെന്നുള്ളത് ഇത്രയും നാൾ അറിയുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ ഇന്നാണ് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ മീൻസ് ബാലൻസ് ചെയ്യാൻ കുറച്ച് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോ അത് ആ ഒരു ഫീൽ മീൻസ് ബാക്കി ഇതുവരെ ചെയ്ത ആ ഒരു എക്സസൈസിന് വെച്ചിട്ട് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ നല്ലൊരു എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു. ആൻഡ് സോ ഹാപ്പി സർ.
Okay, thank you. But for the people who did not understand Malayalam, she was telling about the sensory experiences, especially the temperature or the body weight. So some people might have noticed the body movement also, as well as balance. Many people will all of a sudden
Struggling.
they feel like they cannot balance the body, or the body is heavy. All these we will notice. So being mindful will always contribute to your self-care. It will directly contribute to your self-care, because you will notice a number of things happening to your body and mind. So naturally it will come. So keep practicing, and new insights will definitely come. And also listen to others' experiences as well. So now somebody said, now she has observed the body weight. Now definitely I'm sure next time when she will eat something with high calorie, definitely she will think twice.
Of course sir.
Hi,
Anybody else?
sir.
Yes.
At the beginning, when you have told us to stand still, no. So I felt that I'm flying like so light with my body was. As she has told that while we were keeping the first step, especially with the first leg moved forward, and I was standing on my left leg. As she told, I felt too heavy and really find difficulty to stand on. But when I took the next step, and also the comfortable that when touch the toes, then the such a good experience on the floor, no, cold, too cold, and with the right leg little more comfortable I felt, and that was really as an experience, something, you know, and the same time we were standing and experiencing the time, mind was telling, body was forcing me to go ahead.
Correct.
Yeah, forcing something while you're stopping. Go ahead, like our body was forcing. I'm so comfortable and peaceful after doing this. It's such a good experience I have got. Thank you.
Yeah, Ms. Shirley has reported one very significant thing, that urge. She clearly
Yeah.
reported about that urge. Many a times you can, when you calm down, when you slow down and observe, we can see numerous similar urges, that internal desires that pushing us forward.
Yeah.
There is even a book called there are the things you see when you slow down. There are numerous things that you see or you experience only when we slow down. So the pleasure of touching the floor, sometimes warmth will be pleasurable. Here it is very cold, so cold floor is kind of difficult. It was
Yeah.
nearly as well as 4 degree at night. So touching on the floor is discomfort here.
Yeah.
They are if it is comfortably warm. Then touching something cold might feel pleasant.
Yeah.
So it depends on the context, but whatever the experience may be, the experience of pleasure, or the experience of the sensation of pleasantness, that is important. You can find a lot of things while if you're, especially if you're going out during mindful walk, You can find thousands of things that make you happy. Some tiny flowers, some a puppy maybe on the roadside. Not big things. Some numerous small things you can find on the way when you do mindful walk. But I suggest you to practice it within the home at least for a while. That is why I also ask you to keep the eyes shut so that we all have this visual dominance or most dominant uh, sensory modality is vision, excluding the individuals who do not have vision. Generally speaking, we all have visual dominance. So if we close entirely and if we shut off one sensory modality completely, the other sensory modalities will get sharper. You will listen more, you will smell more. Try it with food. Sometimes you can try it with food. Today, when you eat, close your eyes and try to eat. I suggest you to have something vegetarian. Otherwise, if you swallow some bonds and don't fight with me, you can try it. You will find it more tastier. The aroma, the taste, the temperature, the sensation of food in your mouth, and how it is dissolving. Tomorrow we'll be practicing raising exercise as well, and happy that although the initial part of the session was kind of disappointing, it turned out to be good. So that is nice. So we will continue tomorrow also. So please bring a few raisins.
I have a question. Like,
Yes.
usually you tell me that I usually have some initial responses. Like, is there any categorization? Like in Rorschach, we usually say that it's a popular response, and other like this is an unusual response. We usually categorize people. Like this mindfulness is also based on psychopathology, right? Is there any category based on the responses that the individual is getting?
I do not categorize around. Because the thing is that if I ask you sometime later, you will give a different response. Of
Okay.
course, of course, different things will get reflected into your responses, including your personality, your preferences, many things, your hedonic, eudaimonic orientation, many things will get reflected. And also your immediate surrounding, your current circumstances, all will contribute to your experiences. But it is meaningless. This categorization is meaningless here.
Okay. Okay.
The outcome is important, not what you feel. What you feel doesn't matter. What you get, that experience of stress reduction and enhancement of well-being, that is important.
Okay.
Yes. So that is it. I would like to introduce you to uh, eudaimonic well-being as well, and then we will wind up the session. So yes, as many of you have doubt, yes, mindfulness can enhance eudaimonia, hedonia, just like any other psychotherapies. And there are things other than therapies that also contribute to uh, hedonia. But what about eudaimonia? How many of you are familiar with the concept of eudaimonia? Heard about the term eudaimonia?
Yes, I heard.
Yes, any rough idea, any wild guess?
Some sort of
Sorry.
elevated happiness, upper version of like more understandable form of happiness, meaning like an
Yes,
enlightenment.
it is a tendency to pursue and experience meaningful happiness. There's the sense of meaning in life, a purpose in life, like I am growing, a sense of excellence and flourishing. That is eudaimonia. So sometimes we can even say that it is kind of the opposite of hedonia. Whereas hedonia is seeking pleasure, eudaimonia is seeking meaning. Whereas if hedonia is focused on immediate attainment of goals and immediate satisfaction of needs, eudaimonia is focusing on clarification of needs in the long run. And on one side, we have hedonic treadmill. On the other hand, regard to eudaimonia, we have eudaimonic staircase. Here also we can see it is nearly the opposite. For hedonia, we need to give more and more and more reasons to be happy. But in case of eudaimonia, once it is there, accumulated effect collectively contribute to our eudaimonia. It is kind of a staircase, eudaimonic staircase, or the upside spiral of positive emotions. The Broaden and Bill theory says it so. The upside spiral of positive emotion. So it will gradually contribute even if there is no external agencies promoting eudaimonia. So it doesn't matter, it comes from within. Unlike hedonia, where something from outside, the external factors are necessary. In case of eudaimonia, it will come from within. You don't need to have anything. You have it. The personal meaning, my life is meaningful, the experiences are meaningful, and that will make you happy. That is eudaimonia. There are very few interventions that attempted to use mindfulness to enhance eudaimonia, but I couldn't find any specific intervention that exclusively intended to enhance eudaimonia. So during my doctoral research, I have developed one mindfulness-based intervention to enhance eudaimonic well-being. We call it mindfulness-based eudaimonic enhancement training. It is an 8-session program intended to enhance eudaimonic well-being through some uh, insightful discussions and some guided meditations. So definitely mindfulness can enhance not just hedonia, it can improve eudaimonic well-being as well. There is one theory, mindfulness to meaning theory, published by Garland et al. In 2015. It says mindfulness lead to eudaimonia naturally, even if we are not intentionally, deliberately trying to enhance eudaimonia through a mindfulness-based intervention. Naturally, if you are practicing mindfulness itself, the life will become more meaningful, because you will observe a lot of things that are not just pleasurable but also meaningful, and also you will engage in similar activities that will give you more meaning in life, that will direct your behaviors as well. You will find the problems, you will identify the problems. These are harming me, these are hurting me, these are not contributing to my overall personal growth. So I should move. I am not a tree to stand here forever. I can move. I will. So eudaimonia will help you there. One important thing I would like to mention here is that people have different orientations. Some people are more hedonic orientation, some people are more eudaimonic oriented. Hedonically oriented people feel that they need more money, more fame, or any other often tangible things to be more happy and experience more well-being. So they are like that. Their natural tendency is like that. They need more power, more money, or anything external. So meaning is not important for many people. For many others, external things doesn't matter. They need more meaningful life. Instead of comfort, they need meaning. The ideal thing is to have both together in a balanced way. We need money, we need comfort, we need pleasure. Along with that, we need meaning, we need growth, we need a purpose. So both should be there. And combinedly, this will both hedonia and eudaimonia will contribute to our overall happiness and well-being. Naturally, it will reduce all other negative emotions, negative psychological states, including distress and anxiety. Uh, I would like to mention one thing here. There are specific cases where mindfulness is not advisable. There are contraindications for mindfulness-based interventions, especially if we are talking about clinical situations, particularly depression, major depressive disorders. Sometimes mindfulness is not everyone's cup of tea. Please be careful with that. We cannot force mindfulness to anybody. It doesn't mean that we cannot use mindfulness if there is some pain related thing being involved. Uh, for many chronic pain conditions, mindfulness MBIs are commonly used. Even MBS are even MBS are started like that only. Chronic conditions like including pain related disorders like arthritis, MBAs are commonly used. The thing is that you might think when we become more mindful, all our sensations will become more vivid, more colorful, more clear. So, what will happen if you already have pain and you vividly experience pain? You might be having that doubt, but it's okay. You have studied about pain control mechanism and the brain also. If you focus too much on it, it will get the gate will the pain gate will shut. You no longer experience pain. And also, more importantly, the non-judgmental part of mindfulness will help you to experience all kinds of pain, psychological, let it be psychological or physical. You will experience it as a kind of sensation. Pain is a sensation, just like pleasure, just like touch, just like temperature, just like the experience of breathing, just like the experience of walking, just like the experience of eating. This is just another sensation. So after a while, people will reduce pain into simply sensation, and that will help. Any doubts? Okay, I hope no doubts. I will quickly wind it up for today so that
Sir, excuse me, sir.
yes,
Sir, eudaimonia can be considered as joy, joyful life with the meaning. That means whatever we are having, finding happiness with that, and we are moving with the meaningful life can be considered like that.
bliss is more into eudaimonia. You can categorize under eudaimonia, but joy is usually considered as hedonia. This momentary happiness, right? Pleasure. It will not sustain.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that is what I have found from some literature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Subjective well-being is often considered in the hedonia,
Yeah.
but the psychological well-being is literally eudaimonia. The Carroll Drift scale, at least some people might be familiar with Carroll Drift's scale of 6 categories.
Okay.
Although the scale is called psychological well-being scale, the RIF scale of psychological well-being. RIF, she consistently used the term eudaimonia interchangeably with psychological well-being. She has used both the words. So that is eudaimonia.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I will give you 2 minutes break, just 2 minutes. I will be back. By that time, if you have some doubts, you can think about it. And for 10 minutes, we will think about the questions and we'll wind up today's session. I'll be back.
Okay, sir.
If you have any queries, just feel free to ask, okay?
Yes, I am back. So now you can tell me about your. Before that, one more thing. Uh, I want to give you an assignment. It's not simply listening to something and going. You have a work to do. So tomorrow we will begin with that. We'll begin with discussing about that. So let me share that first. Don't worry, you will enjoy it. Okay, I want you to consider these three activities. Pet parenting, if you have a pet, or even if it is a plant, that is fine. You can have pet plants as well. Something that you pet. If you have, you can spend some time with it and share that experience. That is one option. Uh, second is photography. Second is going out, especially with nature. I mean, nature photography itself. So, about nature, those two things will come under mindfulness based wilderness therapy. Wilderness therapy is common, but combining mindfulness with wilderness therapy is not very popular, but we are working on it. So I know the impact also. It will improve your nature connectedness, and nature connectedness is associated with a lot of well-being outputs. That is why in many organizations you can see everywhere they are putting greener, because exposure to green things, exposure to green environment will boost your happiness and well-being. So mindful photography or mindful nature photography will help you to get in connection with nature, uh, and also while you look for a good spot, a good thing to capture, you will also experience that time with the nature mindfully. The third thing is the thing that you are going to do tomorrow. The two other thing you can practice. It is something that maybe we can explore later. Like there is a special session exclusively for mindfulness based wilderness therapy, where we will deeply explore how nature connectedness and similar aspects can be improved while utilizing mindfulness based interventions. There, we will also learn about pet parenting and pet plant parenting and mindfulness related nature photography as well. Foraging is what you are going to do today or tomorrow morning. And by the time you come tomorrow at 3 o'clock, you should have made a herbal tea out of forage. You can go out, see, there are so many things. I can give you some suggestions, but please spend some time with nature. Don't buy anything. Don't buy a herbal tea bag and put it in hot water and make it and come. No, rage. Go to the nature. Find it yourself. Find it. It can be tulsi. It can be Mexican mint. The ajwain leaves. It's a really good option. Or any other things. If you have some spices, uh, you can use mint, spearmint, or peppermint, or any other things that you find can help you make a herbal tea. If you have some exotic things like chamomile, of course you can use chamomile also. Anything, forage, and out of that make a herbal tea, and with that herbal tea you have to come to. Now I am open to questions.
Do anyone have any questions?
Today, uh, the award for the most active person will go to Shirley ma'am. Arun and Aisha, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not telling because you are part of Wings. Nikita,
Negative is part of it, so I think that's faculty.
okay. Nobody else. That is kind of sad, but I hope at least some of you might have found something useful. Just learning is insufficient for mindfulness. Then please leave the idea of being a mindfulness practitioner. You have to do, otherwise, there is no use at all. And it is not difficult. You will definitely enjoy. It's not too difficult. The only thing is that you will have to remember to be mindful. Mindfulness is not difficult, but you'll have to remember to be mindful. That will come out of what to say, practice. You have to make it a part of your habit. It will become habitual. Naturally, it will come.
Sir, is mindfulness therapies time consuming?
Sorry?
These mindfulness therapies are time consuming?
No. There are brief therapies as well. Very brief
Okay.
therapies.
Mhm.
And usually they traditionally use 8 week sessions. 8 week session in the sense some of them utilizes, including MBSR. MBSR also is having 8 week sessions. Sessions extend to 2 months, 8 weeks. And in traditional MBSR, you can see almost all days there will be practice, and one day, 5 days there will be intermittent practice, like for 1.5 to 2 hours, and for the last day, the 6th day of the week, there will be half day or the whole day of practice. That is what we can commonly see. But recently, we can see there are many mindfulness-based interventions, including mindfulness-based positive psychology intervention, where the duration is very limited. Even some of these applications are used as MPIs. So there are time flexibility. And I have used just 8 days of intervention among individuals with some kind of hedonic dysregulation, and it was found useful without any follow-up sessions. Usually there'll be follow-up sessions. There'll be this duration. Then after that, we will see them again and again. Maybe after 2 months, and again after 6 months, and again after again another 6 months. There'll be maybe half day or one day, one whole day sessions like that. But even without all these, many of these, even with very minimum amount of time, the brief therapies are found to be useful, especially if the individuals have that orientation, that motivation. Definitely they will explore it further. One important thing is that you don't need to practice the formal meditations alone. Through informal practices also you can enhance mindfulness, so it doesn't matter.
Is it more applicable when it is came to a group therapy rather than individual therapy? Like we are sharing our experience. It could be enhancing and motivating the others also, right? It could be more incorporated in group sections, or it could be better in individual sections.
I have mostly used group intervention, group therapies, and groups I found it highly uh, impactful, because, as you said, people will hear from others as well, and they will feel more comfortable. Other person has different experience, I have different experience, so all these are fine. So then again, all of they will accept all these different kinds of experiences. So group therapies are different, definitely useful, and among couples also you can use just 2 people. And individually I have used rarely, uh, and individually also it can be useful as if the individual is having that kind of motivation. What kind of therapy we choose depends on many things, right? It is
Yeah.
it is not because we know MPI, so we are adopting MPI for any particular case. But we will be utilizing mindfulness because the person needs it. The person has that need. The person needs it, then you can use. But generally speaking, in all, regardless of age or any other variables, in all contexts, you can comfortably use mindfulness.
So, how can we use mindfulness therapy in case of an overthinker or a person having anxiety?
For I couldn't hear you.
Overthinker, in the case of an overthinker,
Overthinking. Okay,
yeah,
that is rumination, right?
and sorry,
You're talking about rumination.
yeah, yes, yes. So, and
Uh,
also a person who's suffering from this work pressure, stress, and all. So, how can we effectively use
Actually, the first
this?
part of your question, rumination, there is a clear link between mindlessness and rumination. Mindlessness is almost the opposite of, we can conceptually define it as the opposite of mindfulness, mind wandering or mindlessness. And that is related to rumination or daydreaming. So when mindfulness enhance, naturally rumination will get reduced. Because when people begin to think about certain things, they will also think that I am thinking about this, I am feeling this. So instead of
So, yeah,
experiencing the emotion, suppose you are angry.
be able to distinct between these thoughts and our mind, right?
Sorry.
So we have to make like we have to distinct between our thoughts and our mind.
What do you mean by mind?
I mean, നമ്മളിത്
Which
ചിന്തിക്കുകയാണ്
language are
എനിക്ക് thoughts ഉണ്ട് എന്ന് നമ്മൾ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു അങ്ങനത്തെ ആ ഒരു ഡിസ്റ്റിങ്ഷൻ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവണം ഈ ഒരു കേസിൽ എന്നാണ് സർ പറയുന്നത്
you? Kind
നമ്മുടെ
of. When,
ചിന്തകൾ മാത്രമാണ് എന്നുള്ളത് മനസ്സിലാക്കണം.
kind of. You think that? Yes, Arun, you want to say something?
No, sir. I think she's mentioning about the distorted thoughts and the current thought. Is it like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
rumination
think she,
doesn't
yeah.
mean that is distorted. Ruminations are not distorted thoughts. Those are truly
Yeah, I think she's mentioning about the distorted thoughts. Like in anxiety, like unwanted thinking. Someone is thinking about thinking. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
again unwanted thoughts are not always distorted. Anyway, all these kinds of thought, let it be the distorted or rumination, unwanted or any kinds of thoughts. When you become mindful, you will become aware of your thoughts as well, not just thoughts, your emotions, your sensory experiences, all these, all kinds of experiences, including your cognitive experiences, as well as your physical, biological, sensory experiences. All this you will have a power over, rather than experiencing an emotion. Like rather than being sad, you will understand that yes, I am feeling sadness rather than being sad. So you have an option whether to continue to be sad or to do something about it or just understand that. Once you simply focus on it, uh, another example is anger. When you understand that you are angry, when you realize and tell yourself that, yes, I am angry, the anger will subside. Maybe even you will smile. Rather than acting upon it, you will become a separate entity and observe it, and you will become calm. That is metacognition. Mindfulness enhances metacognition. So all kinds of thoughts will come under your control. Any other doubts?
Sir? Hi, sir.
Yes. Yes.
One request, if you put the activity in the link or WhatsApp, many people have left before you said, so it will be helpful for them.
Okay. Activities, right? That is a
Yeah.
good suggestion. I can post it in the yes.
Because many left before you
This
said.
okay. Anyway, unfortunate beings, that is their fate. But okay,
Still.
fine. Since you have said, I will do it. Okay, so let's
I
call
would like to
today.
ask one more section. If possible, we can discuss in the next section, sir. Like you mentioned about
Yes.
the metacognition, we usually use metacognition for as a treatment, not to break the delusional thoughts. Like, is there any practices like in mindfulness to break the delusional thoughts? Like you already mentioned about the metacognition and all.
MBAs are widely used. You have earlier also you have mentioned a few other disorders. Generally, mindfulness is commonly used. It's very common, and also you can find the association, the correlation, the predictive value of mindfulness to reduce number of different conditions, disorders and conditions. Many psychological disorders are associated with our thoughts, right? We think like that, so things will happen. So if it is not biological, even to some extent, biological things can be modified by MPIs. For example, in some studies, they found that the gray matter quantity, the amount of gray matter will enhance with mindfulness practice. Gray matter is what give a distinction between humans and animals, right? Or cerebral
Hmm.
cortex, the neocortex. So the cortical amount, the gray matter will improve as a result of mindfulness practice. So you will become more human.
So it could be very useful if you could share some studies based on that also.
You can simply browse and find numerous. Just Google it.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Google Scholar and find like any documents you can find. I will share two more documents related to that mindfulness-based eudaimonic enhancement. You can find some literature out of it and go through that also. This one also. This is a systematic review, so we will get numerous a number of studies out of this. I have already shared it. The other two I can share now. There are two more studies. You can check it out. The introductory section, literature, you can find many studies being associated with the topic. Particularly, strongly suggest you all to go through the systematic review. We learn a lot. Yeah. Okay, then, so let's wrap it up
Questions
today.
from you?
Then see you again.
Thank you.
Yes. Did you say something?
No, I was asking, is there any questions from audience?
Okay.
No, thank you.
So now I think
Okay.
let's wind
Have
it
a
up.
nice day. See you. Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
so good evening to everyone who are present here. Oh, sorry, Guru. Sorry.
Okay, take it.
Okay.
You can see tomorrow.
See you
Okay.
tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you everyone for being here. And we are expecting your participation for the next session, which is going to conduct on tomorrow. It will commence at 3 p.m. Okay. So thank you so much for coming. So see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Ma'am, can you please wait? Today's section is over. You can leave. എല്ലാരും സാറ് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് നിർത്തിയിട്ട് പോവാം മര്യാദക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഞാൻ പരിപാടി വന്നിട്ട് പോകും. എവിടെ നീ പോയാ?
ഒരു മിനിറ്റ് ഞാനാ
ആ എടാ ഇതിന്റെ അകത്ത് കുറെ പരിപാടികളുണ്ടോ, ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് ഒക്കെ. നമുക്ക് യൂനോ ഒക്കെ കളിക്കാം ഇതിന്റെ അകത്ത്.
ആരാടാ എന്നെ വിളിച്ചപ്പോ എനിക്കിത് എന്റെ ക്യാമറ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല കുന്തം. അത് ഞാൻ ഫോണിൽ നിന്ന് കയറി. ഹലോ
ആ പറയടാ.
ആ ക്യാമറ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല, അത് ഫോണിൽ നിന്ന് കയറി.
അതെന്താ ക്യാമറക്ക്?
ക്യാമറ
ഞാനൊന്ന് സാറിനെ വിളിക്കട്ടെ കേട്ടോ.
ആ വിളിക്കേ. സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് നാളെയല്ലേടാ കൊടുക്കുന്നേ?
ആ സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റ് നാളെ കൂടെ. അത് ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ ഒന്ന് മെൻഷൻ ചെയ്താൽ മതി. എന്നിട്ട് ഒരു ലിങ്ക് വന്ന് ഇട്ടിട്ട് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്താ നാളെ കൂടെ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്താൽ കൊടുത്താൽ മതി.
അല്ല സാറിന്റെ സർട്ടിഫിക്കറ്റിനെ വരിക, ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരുടെ ഓക്കെ. അതിപ്പോ രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്തവർക്ക് കൊടുക്കാം.
എന്താ പറയുന്നത്?
അല്ല അവളെനിക്ക് അതിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ മെസ്സേജ് അയച്ചിരുന്നു, എടി അങ്ങേരെ എല്ലാം പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, ഇനിയിപ്പോ ഞാൻ വോട്ട് ഓഫ് താങ്ക്സ് പറയേണ്ടി വരും, അതോ അത് അങ്ങേരെ തന്നെ പറയുമെന്ന്. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു അതിന് നീ സമ്മതിക്കരുത്, നീ പറയണം.
നാളെ നിഖിൽ സാറ് താങ്ക്സ് പറയോ അതോ എന്ത് പറയുമോ?
നിഖിൽ സാറിനോട് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പൊ നിഖിൽ സാർ പറഞ്ഞു നാളെ തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തേക്ക് പോകേണ്ട തിരക്കിലായിരിക്കും.
പിന്നെ നിഖിതയ്ക്ക് നാളെ കൊടുക്കാം.
നിഖിതയ്ക്ക് കോളേജിൽ പോകണ്ടായിരിക്കും.
ഞാനും
പറഞ്ഞു നിഖിൽ
ലേറ്റ് ആവും കേട്ടോ. നാളെ
ഞാൻ
സെക്ഷനിൽ
ആലോചിച്ചത്
എനിക്ക് 4 മണി വരെ കോളേജ് ഉണ്ട്. അതിന് ശേഷം എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടോന്ന് അറിയത്തില്ല. അപ്പൊ നീ ഒന്ന് നോക്കിയേക്കണം. വേറെ ആരെടുത്ത് നാളെ നമ്മളെ കൂട്ടത്തിൽ
ഞാൻ നോക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, വേറെ ആരും ഇപ്പൊ കിട്ടിയിട്ടില്ല. ഇപ്പൊ എന്തായാലും സെറ്റിന്റെ എക്സാം കഴിഞ്ഞല്ലേ, അപ്പൊ ആരെങ്കിലും വെറുതെ ഇരിക്കണ ആരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കും സ്റ്റുഡൻസ്. എന്നെ ആഷ്നെ വിളിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടായി അതിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ. ആഷ്നെ അല്ല, പൂജ വിളിച്ചു. പ്രീവിയസ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പേഴ്സ് കുറെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, അറിയത്തില്ല കിട്ടുമെന്ന്. ചെയ്ത കുറെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് വന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആൻസർ കീ നമ്മൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കി വരുമ്പത്തിനും ആരെങ്കിലും ഒരാളിടും. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ
അത് നമുക്ക് എവിടെയെങ്കിലും തപ്പി എടുത്ത് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചിടണം. പേപ്പർ 1 ആൻസർ കീ ടെലിഗ്രാമിലൊക്കെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടാവും, കണ്ടുപിടിക്കണം നമുക്ക്.
ഇത് ഇതിന്റെ ഇടയിലാടാ വന്നേ. അപ്പൊ എനിക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ അയക്കാൻ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടായി. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ അയച്ചു. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ അതിന്റെ ഇടയിൽ അത് ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് ഒന്ന് സെറ്റ് ആക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് ആയിട്ടാക്കാം. അപ്പൊ ആൻസർ കീ കൂടെ വന്നിട്ട് രണ്ടും കൂടി ഒന്നിച്ചിട്ട് PDF ആയിട്ട് ഇടാച്ചിട്ടാ. ഹലോ
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
അല്ല ആൻസർ കീ കൂടെ വന്നിട്ട് അതൊരു PDF ആക്കി ഇടാൻ. അപ്പൊ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ പേപ്പർ ഇട്ടിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ.
നമ്മളെ ചെക്ക് ലിസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് റെഡിയാക്കിയിട്ട് വേണ്ടടാ. ഓക്കെ ഞാൻ ഒന്ന് ലീവ് ആവുകയാണ്. ക്യാമറ വന്നു
ഇപ്പൊ കഴിഞ്ഞു.
ഞാൻ പോണേ.
ശരി എനിക്ക് ചോറ് വേണം.